Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to tonight's Daily Cast. Tonight it's going to be another our Dota 2 Cast It special, as in it's just another random Daily Cast, because why the hell not? So without further ado, again, the state of the channel affairs will happen at the end of this Daily Cast. You can skip forward and see that if you really want to, or you can just stick around for this cast. Otherwise, let's get this show on the road, as, well, that's generally how we like to do things. This is going to be an all-random match, actually, instead of all-pick or anything else like that. Don't ask me why, but that's what it is, so we're going to roll with it and see if we can make it work.
Prepare for battle.
Obviously, our two teams have been picked already, but that's the magic of all random. No draft! Just go right into it. Either looking at the heroes, or more precisely the names, looks like on the rating we do have the NPR squad representing, specifically Kartok, Space Truckin' 57, let's see if I can find their actual names here, Thistle and Shamrock, all things considered, and the Diane Rem Show. Over on the Dire side of things, Noah G as our Skywrath Mage, Smash Your Face, who actually presented this match as your Ogre Magi, Hemophiliac, as Phantom Assassin, Shuckle as Storm Spirits, and finally, as our Treant, who hasn't quite spawned yet, Mr. Scrotum, because that's obviously a name that you want to have and parade around in the Steam community for some silly reason. Either way, lanes are already being picked up here in 30 seconds to go until the match begins, and this is the part where, looking at the Dire, these lanes are actually really nice and predictable. Phantom Assassin safe lane being supported by the Ogre Magi, Skywrath Mage mid, off lane Treant Protector. I mean, it can happen other ways, too. Actually, no, excuse me, Storm Spirit off lane, and then just a tri-lane, most likely, with Treant. Or they can throw the Treant off lane with Storm Spirit, and that would work well for that. Now, the Radiant, though, this is where things are going to get really, really random, and where it's really hard to predict. Because look at their heroes. They have a Vino, a Rubik, a Disruptor, a Riki, and a Windrunner. Kind of a weird setup. Actually, more like a really weird setup to try and make lanes with, especially in this situation. Riki's going to be in safe lane, that's obvious. He's going to have to act as their hard carry beyond all belief and really roll with them here, but they're going to have a Rubik mid, a Rubik in the mid lane against a Storm Spirit. Not only could this be a very disastrous lane for them, but they have to play it right, otherwise, oh dear. Looks like Windrunner going to be our off-laner for the Radiant. Nothing too surprising about that. Just going to go and look if she can block the pull camp, which she is going to cleanly get away with. This is more of a uncommon ward position for this, actually. I mean, if she had placed it a little bit more around the top on that little cross, actually, she'd have gotten great vision of both the lane, and it would have blocked the creep camp. But in this position, it doesn't give her very good lane vision, just a little bit, while at the same time, it's going to get easily dewarded. It's going to get found out very quickly. So that ward, generally not too used, especially if you could have placed it hidden in the trees or off in the bottom right corner where it's even less likely to get dewarded. Meanwhile, down in bot lane, it is indeed going to be dual lanes, as they're going to note, well, it's a tri-lane for the Radiant, a dual lane for the Dire. It's going to be Ogre Magi supporting Skywrath Mage here, and they're actually going to throw the Storm Spirit in the mid lane against the Rubik. DD rune up on that Rubik, so lane's going to push out quite heavily in favor of the Radiant for the time being. Last hits in favor of the Rubik for the time being. Storm Spirit looking to make that up, though. Skywrath going to be busy dealing with the bot lane. Riki just trying to get whatever farm he can, and with a supporting Vino, I mean, the Venom from Venomancer is going to very easily push Ogre Magi and Skywrath out of the lane for the time being until they can get some more levels. Nuke going to come out and deal a little bit of damage to Riki, but it's not really going to be anything that's going to make Riki afraid to be in lane here. So he's just able to get right back in lane and get back to farming, which right now he is completely out-farming the Phantom Assassin in the other lane. Already he's 9-1 compared to Phantom Assassin's 5-1. And right now when you're in a safe lane and only having to deal with a Windrunner, I mean, I realize Windrunner can provide very good harassment, but in comparison to a dual lane, a Skywrath and an Ogre Magi, you should be out-farming the other lane. In this situation, though, I mean, Riki's just kind of running away with it. And the lane, Creep Wave's going to get pulled by the pull camp, which is apparently going to run off. And it's even a chain pull. That's a little bit less common, especially in non-very high skill bracket or competitive matches, to see a chain pull coming out through that. It's very nice to see those chain pulls and to know that they are still happening. Meanwhile, Ogre Magi, he does have his Fire Blast up and ready. No stun from him just yet, but when that happens, they might be able to get a kill here. Now, Rubik actually getting a lot of the runes right now. That's his second rune in a row, DD followed by an Illusion rune. I'm not going to say it's exactly because of the wards. I mean, both teams have wards up where they need to have them. Meanwhile, though, the Dire, they had a pull camp ward up, and it's going to get denied. Sentrywords coming out. Now in comes the Ricky, going onto the Ogre Magi. He gets phased back by the Disruptor. Now trying to run into the trees. You're taking a lot of damage, and you don't run from Ricky. The backstab, already level 2, comes in, and that is going to be our first blood here. Ogre Magi going down, and a reinforcing Disruptor going to come into the lane and make it still a tri-lane. Leaving Skywrath feeling rather lonely right now. Skywrath just going to hang around in the back right now, not feeling very safe in the front of the lane. Nothing too surprising about that when your assisting dual laner just got ganked. Meanwhile, though, Phantom Assassin going to sit up here in the safe lane, trying to farm up as much as she can, and she is indeed catching up with the Ricky now. She's actually outdoing it in denies. Currently 4 denies against the 1 of Ricky. So Phantom Assassin trying to make as much of a comeback as she can up in that top lane. Windrunner, now it looks like Phantom Assassin feeling safe in lane, actually, so Windrunner is going to be left alone here, and comparatively, Treant Protector is going to be over here just pulling the pull count, making sure that the lane equilibrium stays in favor of Phantom Assassin, and that's going to deny Windrunner a lot of her capability to do anything. She's going to come in with Power Shot, but it's not going to be enough to get anything out of that. And she's only got 7 and 2 right now, so her situation not the best to be in right now. She's trying to make the best of it. She's still getting XP, and right about now, that's exactly what she needs to be doing. She's actually keeping up. She's actually got a little bit more experience than Phantom Assassin does.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Meanwhile, Harassment's trying to come out in that bot lane. Skywrath finding out that Venomancer likes poison, and he especially likes putting poison on you. That means Skywrath going to have to play it rather conservatively. I mean, more conservatively than Skywrath already had to play it. He came in from time to time, was able to nuke the Ricky, but it's not enough to push the Ricky out of lane. So right now, Ricky is getting the farm he needs, and he's not really being denied any of it. In fact, Ricky's already level 4 compared to a level 3 Ogre Magi and a level 4 Skywrath. So that means their XP going to be slightly outdoing it. Vino, on the other hand, is also level 3, so I guess you could argue the lane is technically equal in the sense that Vino, he's staying back, Ricky's staying in there, and all power treads on Ricky already. So very quick power treads, 5 minutes in. He'll probably start working on his Diffusal Blade next. Your Diffusal Blade is always powerful on Ricky. Oh, you dusted me. Diffusal Blade! No, you didn't. Oh, you did anything else that can detect me that's not a Sentry Ward. Well, Diffusal Blade. Guess what? No, you didn't. Diffusal Blade is so powerful for that reason, especially on a Ricky, and he's going to make great use of that throughout this match. Ooh, Haste coming in from Rubik. In he comes. Or more quickly, in the trees he comes, since apparently he's not actually going to make anything out of that. He does have level 2 Telekinesis. Now they're moving in on the Ogre Magi. Are we going to see the pickup, an immediate pickup? Field comes out from Disruptor, trying to run away from it. Fade Bolt's already coming out. So much damage coming in on that Ogre Magi, trying to run away with Silence from Ricky, denying that already. Ricky trying to get back instead. Ogre Magi gets phased back by the Disruptor. Now Ricky comes in for the kill, making it 2-0 in favor of that Ricky. Bloodlust coming out from the Ogre Magi. And indeed, that glimpse from Disruptor being an extremely powerful tool for the ganks right now. Combine that with the kinetic field, and all of a sudden you have a very powerful ganking combo, and they're making great use of it. Kinetic field into glimpse, I mean, you're going to glimpse him right out of your own kinetic field, but as long as you can glimpse him back, as long as you can make him go back where he was earlier, then in that situation, you've just gotten a successful gank off, you've gotten him out of the lane, and that's going to give Ricky just a little bit more farm. He is losing the CS game to Phantom Assassin now, but he's gotten... Has he gotten... No, he's only gotten one of those kills. Disruptor getting the other one, but that's 2 kills in his lane. That's a lot of XP going his way that otherwise hasn't gone to Phantom. So even though Phantom's winning CS for the time being, Ricky is still technically winning the lane simply because of the XP he's gotten from the kills. No. Plus you have a Vino. Combining Vino with this lane means that there's going to be a lot of lane harassment. It's going to force heroes out of the lane very easily. Vino just has to come in, hit them once, and even that, once he gets his ult, he just to come in, poison Nova, and all of a sudden, damage. Then he can just drop down Plague Wards if he really wants to, and the lane harassment is just going to double for it. So Vino acting as a very good support for Ricky here, giving him all the farm he needs, and now the real question is Ricky getting all the farm he needs? Currently, he's only 5 last hits behind Phantom Assassin, and the answer to that so far is yes. And I find this a little bit weird, but Rubik is actually keeping up in farm in that mid lane. He's 20-1 compared to Storm Spirit's 23-2, so he is keeping up comparatively. Even though it looks like he did rotate, he's actually in top lane now. There is no one in mid lane. No one at all. It is a Spirit, or a Storm Spirit, and even with that, they're still keeping up. And Ogre Magi going to get caught out once again. Disruptor comes in for yet another gank, making it 3-0. in favor of the Radiant. Not only that, but that means Ricky's going to get just that little bit more farm and get him that much closer to level 6. And we all know, Ricky, when he makes level 6, is suddenly the scariest thing you can possibly lane against. Magical Ricky out of nowhere, combined with any ganking heroes, it's scary, and you don't want to be the one that has to deal with that. And oddly enough, the Dire, I don't think they actually have Sentry Wards. They have no Sentry Wards. They have no ability to deal with this right now. So going into that level 6, they're going to be blind against this Ricky, and that's not something you're going to want to go against. Comparatively, you'd think Storm Spirit would be winning in farm. He's actually losing in farm against this Rubik now. There is no one competing in mid lane with him, and he is still losing in farm to the person that was. And that right there is just an absurd little factoid. But then you look at this, and Phantom Assassin right now is getting all the CS she really needs. She's 42 and 13 right now compared to Ricky's 35 and 4. So she is slowly increasing that CS game lead over Ricky, but Ricky in the meantime is continuously getting XP from those kills on Ogre Magi, who has died 3 times in a row now. Skywrath understands the principle of, oh, I need to be back a little bit, so I'm not going to get ganked by this Disruptor Venomancer combination. And so far, that just hasn't happened. Again with these wards, these wards are just getting to be beautiful. They de-warded the bot lane, and top lane actually ran out. There is an offensive ward here. I believe they can see that, actually. Yeah, they can see that. No, the Sentry Ward just slightly out of place. And because that Sentry Ward was placed slightly out of place, means you're not going to be able to see the ward, which is just right there on the high ground. In any other situation, you'd be able to see that. A little bit of a skirmish coming out in mid lane. Ricky is now level 6. Storm Spirit trying to come in here, get whatever he can. Instead, he's just not going to get any kills, and I mean, essentially, that's a rotation for no apparent reason. Power Tread's just coming out on Storm Spirit. That means they have no one mid. And Rubik is still winning in the CS game. Ricky is still winning in the CS game. And now even Windrunner is out-CSing the Storm Spirit. And right now, when Storm Spirit was your mid and Rubik was your counter mid, you're losing CS game, and Windrunner's out-farming you? Yeah, not exactly the situation to be looking for. I mean, comparatively, this is a very passive game for what it should be. The Radiant, they need to press an early game advantage because they have more support than they have semi-carry. Compared to the Dire, they have a Storm Spirit, they have a Treant, they have a Phantom Assassin, an Ogre Magi, and a Skywrath. They have their 2 supports, they have their offlaner, and then they have their hard carry, and that's exactly what they're looking for compared to the Radiant, who really, they have a hard carry, but then they don't have an offlaner. They have 3 supports to do that, and that's a very awkward combination when going into this. You'd want to suppress an early game aggressive advantage, and they haven't taken any towers as of yet. I don't think they've done any damage to bot tower. They've done a little bit to mid and a little bit to top, but that's not what they're looking for comparatively when you need to be getting the kills out of that early game aggression. And yes, they've gotten the kills. They've gotten 3 kills so far, and they just almost tried to make it a 4th. They are going to back off here. But comparatively, when you already needed to push towers here and you're not pushing towers, that's simply not what you need to be doing. And again, this bot lane still has no invis detection, so Ricky, who is now level 6 and about to be level 7, now has his perma-invisibility, and yeah, perma-invisibility. Guess what? You're not going to see him coming half a mile away unless he's right under your tower. So suddenly Ricky has just gone from being an okay carry to being an extremely powerful one until you get Jim, until you get Sentry Wards, and until you have the lockdown to make sure you can stay within detection range of him, and right now that's simply not what the Dire have. Ogre Magi going to come in with the Fire Blast, followed quickly by Ignite, and Ricky's actually going to get taken down. Ult's going to get popped, Mystic Flare on the Skywrath Mage, and it's simply enough. In comes the Veno, going to deal as much damage as he can to the Skywrath, but in the end it's simply not going to be enough. Plague Ward's coming down, and the loss of a Ricky in that lane, not going to be good. When Phantom Assassin, in the meantime, has now gotten out of lane, she started farming in the jungle. Now she's already level 8, actually. She is indeed out-farming Ricky at the moment. She's ahead in XP, and now she's going to be ahead in CS. I mean, pretty far. She's already 9 in the lead. She's about 12 denies in the lead as well. So she is leading CS, and she's leading XP, and that's what she's going to be looking to do leading into the mid-game here.
All I do.
And again, a gank comes in here. DD, Storm Spirit going to dive into the bot lane here, and that means that Disruptor is going to get caught out. He's going to go down. Venomancer way in the back, sitting right under the tower. He does not feel safe in any way. And not only that, their wards have just ran out. I mean, Now that their wards are down, they have no rune vision, and that's not going to be a good thing for Rubik, who has rotated back around to mid here. He's still out farming Storm Spirit, but in this situation, where it's now 3-2, they just got those 2 kills. Storm Spirit came in with a DD rune, and they have better map vision. They have better map control. It's not going to be a good day when you are blind. Now, incoming Rubik, he's going to go top. Ricky's already up there looking for the kill on Phantom Assassin. They're going to find it. Treant going to get Fade Bolted, but he's going to be able to back up. And Phantom Assassin, the big kill there, making it 4-2 now. And that means the carries are equal in deaths, which going in further is going to be a situation that no carry wants to be stuck in. But comparatively, Ricky's got his kills. The real question then is which one has more gold? And looking at it, it looks like Ricky actually has a slight gold lead, but not by very much. So, either way, it's basically equal with Phantom Assassin leading slightly. In comes that gank once again. Treant Protector trying to heal through it. He popped his tangos. He gets glimpsed back by the Disruptor, and boom, that's a dead Treant Protector. Top lane has just been completely ganked and annihilated. And now the real question, with creeps pushing the tower, are they going to go for the tower? They'd be almost silly since there's no resistance here. They're going to completely annihilate the enemy creep wave. They turn right back around, reinforcing creep wave just coming in. Tower's now taking damage, and indeed, top T1 tower about to go down for the Dire here. Meanwhile, in the river vision for the Dire is going through the roof. They have bottom rune warded, top rune warded. Not only that, they have a sentry ward on the top rune as well. So if they need to find a Ricky there, they're going to be they're going to easily find that Ricky. Phantom Assassin going back into the top lane here, just sticking back very safely. Wards coming down, aggressive wards as well. A little bit of, I mean, this aggressive ward could have been placed a little bit better. For the position that it's in and the position that the Radiant were in, it's in a good position. Either way, they go in here once again. Blink Strike from Ricky going in on the Phantom Assassin. She gets glimpsed back by the Disruptor. Almost gets caught in the kinetic field, but it's just a little bit too late. Meanwhile, Ogre Magi got shackle shot into a tree. TP from Skywrath Mage coming in here. Nuke comes in on Disruptor. There's the flare. And indeed, going to lead to a very dead Disruptor. Now Ricky trying to run away. Gets fire blasted by Ogre Magi. In comes the damage. Bloodlust coming down. Phantom Assassin, but the shackle shot from Windrunner about to get the save here. Will the blink in from Phantom Assassin be out of? No, there she is still chasing, but Ricky with that perma invisibility. Oh, if he runs down, the sentry ward is still there. He is perma invisibility, but he's about to run into range. He just ran into range of it. Now he's behind them. They catch him out. In comes the Ogre Magi. Now he's taking damage. Skywrath there. Nuke comes out. Can he get out of range? It's going to be close. No, Ricky going to go down. Caught within range of the sentry ward, and that is going to be his doom and death. Just the random sentry ward placed in the middle of the river. I'm not going to say that was a lure from the Dire, but I mean, just the chase that happened there was enough to catch out the Ricky, and it might have just turned this around in their favor, because Phantom Assassin got the kill. Not only that, she's only died once in comparison to Ricky's 2 deaths. So now, not only is she leading in CS game, but now she's going to be leading in XP for the time being. Now the Dire are going to start pushing aggressively on the mid lane here. Treant, Skywrath, and Ogre Magi all in attendance. DD Rune up on the top side. They do see it and they know it's there, so they just need to send someone to go get that. Phantom Assassin still just trying to farm as much as she can in the top lane. Nothing too surprising about that. And this is the one real difference between Phantom Assassin and Ricky here is Ricky, he's going to just, I mean, past level 6, he's going to start roaming a little bit more than most hard carries would. And comparatively, Phantom Assassin, just going to sit in lane, farm all day long. Because that's all Phantom Assassin needs to do. She doesn't need that many kills, but she needs levels, she needs gold, and that's exactly what the farming's going to get her. Either way, the Radiant come in here once again. Skywrath already gone down, Treant unable to get out of there, and Disruptor's just going to seal the deal with his Thunder Strike. The Dire still on the defensive. Mana Boots coming out from Venomancer. Tower not even going to take a little bit of damage here. It is A-okay. And you know why? Because they have a Treant Protector on their team. You thought you could deal damage to T1 towers? Guess what? Not anymore. Towers that you thought were destructible are about to be the most nigh on unkillable things on the history of this earth. Either way, they go for the engagement. Ogre Magi gets picked up by Rubik. Thunder Strike coming back. Storm Spirit caught in a kinetic field, trying to get her. He's able to ball himself out of there. In comes Skywrath Mage. Flare gets popped, trying to deal as much damage as possible. Disruptor going to take a bulk of that damage. Gets hit by one tower shot. Retreats through the trees here. Nuke comes in. It's going to hit the Rubik, dealing a ton of damage. Power shot coming in. Skywrath going to have to turn around here. He's taking too much damage. Shackle shot going to land. Is it on tree? It is not. It barely misses the tree there. And now they're going to have to turn around once again. In comes Skywrath Mage again. Nuke gonna hit the Windrunner. He pops his ult. That's the Static Storm. Now the Overgrowth comes in from Treant Protector. Gonna chase his Disruptor. He gets caught in the kinetic field. Treant Protector gonna go down here, unable to get near a tree to cloak himself, and actually, it just wasn't enough in the beginning. Now Ogre Magi with the Bloodlust trying to stay down in this bot lane. And Avino, he gets to sit back and laugh because Plague Wards! Plague Wards! You don't get to push the lane because Plague Wards. And now over in mid, that's Rubik and Disruptors trying to push their advantage. Did that DD rune actually expire? That DD rune actually expired. It gets replaced by an invisibility rune. Gonna get balled up by the Rubik here. Meanwhile, Ward Vision coming up to be a little bit better for the Radiant. They still have this one up in the jungle, so they have a very aggressive lane vision. They see what's going on there, and they do not actually have any bottom rune vision. So for the time being, their map vision more correctly is still rather abysmal compared to the Dire, who not only have top rune vision, but they have bot rune vision plus Sentry Wards. They're going to see what's going on, and they're able to find the Riki if he's silly enough to get within range of that Sentry Ward.
Radiant's middle tower is under
Meanwhile,
attack.
Riki trying to be a little bit aggressive in this mid lane, but with 3 heroes there, he doesn't feel very safe revealing himself. Instead, he's going to push forward, going to stay just slightly out of range of the tower, which in the meantime is getting living armored by Treant Protector. Oh, I don't think they're going to know about that. If Riki pushes up here again, he's going to get spotted out by that Sentry Ward, and now he's going to push the mid lane, and is he going to fall back? Indeed he is. Battle Fury just coming out on the Phantom Assassin. Oh, is he going to go back in kinetic field? If Riki doesn't play this very carefully, he can get called out, and he's going to get taken down. But with all 5 Radiant players here, it's a 5v5, and this could be either direction. Sentry Wards are down, combine that with Tower Vision, and that means that there's going to be the easy ability to find out the Riki. Not only that, if they push too aggressively, they could get caught out under tower. The Storm Spirit pose. I just love his Static Remnant pose. Greatest pose in this entire game, in my opinion. Storm Spirit's too silly. Plague Ward's coming down from Venomancer, going to start being aggressive towards the tower. Power Shot comes out from Windrunner, going to catch pretty much all of them in it. Glimpse comes out from Disruptor. Shackle Shot as well. They're pushing. They're diving the tower. They're going right by it here. Going after the Ogre Magi. Here comes the Overgrowth from Treant Protector. Venomancer pops his ult, dealing damage. Treant going to cloak himself, trying to stay in the trees here. He's still taking poison damage, but he's going to be perfectly fine. Tower's going to start taking damage here. Veno now pushing very aggressively. The Dire is still right there. They can go for this. Riki gets caught out. He's too far under tower. Flare comes out, he's taking all that damage, and now he needs to back off. He needs to stay alive. TP in comes the Phantom Assassin. Treant going to reveal himself now. Living Armor comes out. Venomancer running away, taking so much damage. Shackle Shot going to keep him away temporarily. Glimpse going to TP that Skywrath Mage back. Nuke comes in. It's going to hit the Disruptor here. They're still running, dealing so much damage. Ogre Magi in comes the Fire Blast. Trying to take him down. Venomancer goes down. Phantom Assassin with the blink in. Dagger as well. Disruptor trying to stay in this fight. Riki gonna blink strike in. There goes the smoke. Gonna take the Phantom Assassin down. Now Ogre Magi, Skywrath trying to run away. Force Staff in from Windrunner. Gonna change target onto the Ogre Magi, taking him down. Meanwhile, Skywrath Mage taking so much damage. Telekinesis from Rubik, and down goes the Skywrath Mage. Treant Protector, the only survivor from that fight. That's going to leave the mid T1 tower dangerously exposed, and Storm Spirit's still down for another 2 seconds. That leaves one hero who's badly damaged and in Fountain, unable to do anything about this poor tower, which is going to die rather miserably.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
Now mid lane going to start pushing once again. I think, are they going to try and push for a T2 tower? Creep Wave just moving up here, and yep, they are going to try and push for a T2 tower. Sentry Ward's still up here, and oh, no, they are actually going to rotate. They're going to change targets here. They're just going to let the lane push while they rotate down Bob. That means they're going to be perfectly, and I mean perfectly, spotted out by this Dire Observer Ward. Not only that, Dire is Sentry Ward right on top of their Observer Ward, so that Observer is going to get denied faster than you can say, I don't know. Actually, you know what? I do know. That Observer Ward, it's going to get denied faster than you could say Nature's Prophet. He's not even in this game, but you know what? Nature's Prophet reacts too fast to anything. So, great. In my opinion, that's just how fast that's going to get dewarded. Meanwhile, bot T1 taking damage. Lane pushed in. They're all right there. Venomancer popping his Plague Wards. Glyph going to get popped. Riki's right here. He can spot them out. He sees that they're coming. Tower might just go down. It's going to be too fast. They're still rotating in. Bloodlust comes in on the Phantom Assassin. Coup de Grace coming down on the creeps, trying to get the creeps off the tower, but Venomancer with those Plague Wards switches targets, and the denial from Phantom Assassin. Instead of getting the tower killed, they're just going to deny it. A little bit of gold still going the way. Telekinesis is going to pick up the Phantom Assassin. Here comes the Riki. Blink Strike, and Smoke comes down. Phantom Assassin drops like a rock. Flare comes in from Skywrath Mage. Simply not enough. Storm Spirit going to get blinked backwards. He goes down, and Skywrath Mage and Cheon Protector the only survivors, and that's because Cheon Protector wasn't there. He was busy pushing top lane. Now Skywrath getting caught out. In comes the backstab from Rookie and the kill on the Skywrath Mage. Now bottom T2 tower taking damage, most likely about to go down. TP into the top tower will be enough. Cheon's forced back. No, they're unable to get the kill. Will Ricky get the denial? The catapult's still doing damage. Yes, Ricky with the denial on the top T1 tower for the Radiant. And in the meantime, bot T2 tower going down for the Dire. This is turning very deadly for the Dire very quickly. 17-5 right now. And oh dear, if you are the Dire right now, you're losing towers like crazy. The Radiant, I mean, this is the mid game, and they're still pushing very aggressively. They're flexing their muscles like they should have in the beginning of the game. It took them a while to get online, but now they're going to try and turn this around. Basher coming out on Ricky. So not only that, 1v1, he's going to be able to kill you very, very quickly and keep you out of the fight. T3 tower going to get defended. The Radiant are just going to back off. They don't want to try and push high ground this early on. Instead, they're probably just going to rotate. Yep, they are rotating right into the mid lane here. But in the meantime, that creep wave going to get pushed out. Phantom Assassin with Bloodlust right there. A very scary combination. Instead, Storm Spirit almost getting shackle shotted. He's able to ball himself out of there at the very last moment. And looking at this right now, I mean, Mana Boot's just coming out on Treant, and the items are going to start looking rather superior for the Dire, or for the Radiant, excuse me. And not only that, for Ricky, not only does he have his Basher, he's actually already got a Diffusal Blade on himself, so he's made a lot, and I mean a lot of gold. And looking at the gold graph, it kind of agrees with me. A 10k advantage for the Radiant here, and an almost 7.5k XP advantage for the Radiant. They're looking to press it hard going into the mid game here. And one of the things I like to say about this is, yes, the Radiant have an advantage early in mid game. Yes, they have an immense amount of ability to push towers, but what the question being is, going into the late game, are they going to have the carry power they need? If Ricky gets caught out, if Invis detection comes out like crazy, Ricky's going to be nullified in that fight. And just quickly, Ogre Magi Kinetic Field, he gets glimpsed right back in there. He's taking a lot of damage. He fire blasts the Disruptor, trying to stay alive. In comes the Storm Spirit. Static Force comes out from Disruptor, trying to seal them in. Phantom Assassin taking a lot of damage. She's already been poisoned. She's going to blink her way out. Will it be enough? She's still taking damage. No, Phantom Assassin. Oh, 2 health! 2 health! Still 2 health! That 2 HP! She survives with 2 HP! I didn't actually watch that, but if you would watch the HP bar, Phantom Assassin got down to 2 HP of poison, no less. Vino has to feel cheated right now. 2 HP and you still don't get the kill. Oh my. Meanwhile, that engagement in the mid ends up with a dead Storm Spirit, but not much else. 19-5 now. A good engagement for the Radiant nonetheless, because in the meantime, Ricky was able to push that top T2 tower. It goes down, and that means the Dire, they have new T2 towers now, and that's going to leave the Radiant a little bit of time to farm, and then they're going to try and push high ground. And my guess right now is they're going to try and suppress the Dire, and then they're going to go in for a Roshan kill, giving themselves the Aegis. If they do that, they're going to be able to push high ground very easily as well. Even if Ricky gets revealed, he's going to have that Aegis. He's going to have the capability to come right back into the fight. Meanwhile, the Dire are solely trying to push out top lane. Wards coming out like crazy. They want to find that Ricky if they need to, and let me tell you what, they're going to find that Ricky if they need to. The ward vision right now for the Radiant, though, I'd like to point this out. They have a ward here. Storm Spirit's walking over it multiple times. They have bottom rune vision. What they don't actually have is any top jungle vision, which trying to push in there with a blind eye is not something anyone really wants to do unless you have a 5-man going in there. And right now, they're just content to sit back and farm. Windrunner farming the Ancients with a DD rune. Sentry ward and Observer ward vision on the